right, welcome to this month's episode of Cheema Connect. As always, I'm your host, Jamie Phillip, and I'm joined this time by my friend and yours, Harman Cheema. Harman, how you doing today, sir?
I am doing fabulous. How's everybody doing?
I haven't seen you in a minute.
I haven't seen you in a minute. Where you been?
I've been all over the place. I've been traveling.
Wait, I just saw you a couple days ago.
I feel like we've been doing this and been doing that. I was actually down late the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I was not.
And now you're up here. I had to chase you down.
Yeah, wow.
I had to come home to find you. Well, it's nice to have you back on the program. We love having you on here. I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Arzon. I know he's watching the program back home.
What's up, Arzon?
How you doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. For everybody else, don't forget to like and subscribe the program. Smash that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more great Cheema content throughout the year. We like to push these episodes out about once every 4 or 5 weeks, depending on when we have great updates for our public. And so without further ado, I want to jump in. The first thing I want to do is focus on the man. I want to do a little one-on-one with Harman Cheema.
Wait, that wasn't part of the programming.
I'm flipping the script. It's not on your script. It's only on mine because I got the special one.
All right, surprises today. Jamie's full of surprises today.
This is the softer side of Harman Cheema. I'm going to fire some questions off just to get to know you a little bit better.
I don't know about any softer side.
And to let your people know a little bit more about Harman Cheema. First, a couple easy questions. Where were you born?
I was actually born in a little town called Raikot in Punjab, India.
Punjab, India. Raikot?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you know how many hours it takes to drive there?
No, I don't, but
That was a trip planning question.
Oddly enough, totally odd. I was on YouTube just checking random things out, like me, curious. There was this random dude that was traveling by car from Canada, from Canada to, and then take a ferry across from like New York or something, to over the Atlantic into Europe. And he was going to drive all the way down through the Middle East and Europe and all that into India.
Wow.
Now, I didn't
Ambitious.
watch all the vlogs, his 8 or 9 vlogs.
Did he make it?
Yeah, and he had
Happy ending?
what's that? Elon Musk's the satellite internet.
The Blue Origin?
Yeah, Starlink.
Starlink.
No, Blue Origin. That's the space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking.
He's
Bezos.
not going outer space?
Yeah. No. So this guy had that on his little car, and he was like, I'm gonna have internet for the entire trip. So it was pretty cool. Wow. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think he made it, but
Well, I hope he made it.
yeah. So anyways, yeah. To answer your question, I'm gonna guess it is 7,840 miles.
All right. Somebody do the math and post it in the comments. All right, next question up. What is your favorite animal? Do you have a favorite animal?
Favorite animal? What's my favorite animal? Jamie, I don't have a lot of favorite things besides trucks.
We're going to have to make some stuff up. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be good. We got people watching.
All right. I think my favorite animal would be a dog.
Dog?
Yeah. I know you're not a dog man.
No, I got a cat.
Yeah.
Wesley. If he's watching, shout out to my boy Wesley, Professor Wessels. Any pets at home since we're talking about animals?
No, when I was younger, I had a boxer.
Okay.
Yep.
Grew up with a dog.
Yep.
Cool.
Kind of grew up, yeah.
Next
If
question
I
is
stayed in India, I probably would have had a lot of pets.
favorite.
Roosters.
Are they wild?
They're good.
That's not a pet, bro. That's a meal. Anyhow, moving along. Favorite color. This is a little bit of a loaded question. Favorite color?
Green.
Any specific shade?
Emerald green.
Like this?
Yeah. How about jade metallic green?
That's a great answer. Great answer. Let's talk about sports. Do you have a favorite sport you enjoy watching when you're free time?
Yeah. So I like watching football.
Cool.
I like watching basketball.
Cool.
I like watching. That's it.
Okay. And do you have a favorite basketball team?
LA Lakers.
Lakers. Favorite football team?
Go Niners.
All right. Favorite. Here we go. Let's get into automobiles.
All right.
You got a favorite car? Like, did you have a dream car when you were a kid growing up?
Did I have it or did I want a dream car?
What car would you dream about as a kid ever owning?
I always wanted a Lamborghini because when I was a young kid, in like, I don't know, 5th grade or something, summer school, my teacher had a friend who brought in his red Lamborghini, and it had the doors that went, whatever you call those, and I was like, man, one day I'm going to get a car like that. Still working on it.
Still working on that? Might be cool in green. Emerald.
Yeah, maybe. No, jade metallic green.
Metallic green.
Yep.
That'd be tight. That'd be super tight. So you've
How about
owned
you? What's your favorite car, dude?
I dreamed about a Lamborghini too as a kid.
What?
I was thinking about what
Get your
color
own.
was red the color. I don't know. I think white actually. When I was a kid, a white Lamborghini was my dream car too. So we have that in common. Yeah, those doors are killer.
Yeah.
Speaking of cars, talk about a car you previously owned. What's your favorite car that you've already owned?
My first car, I like my first car.
Yeah.
It was a little, I think it was a 2013. Yeah, it was a 2013. No, it wasn't. It was a 2006. 2006 BMW 328i, 2-door. I thought I was so cool, man. It was a cool car. I saved up all my money, $5,000 down payment. Dad co-signed.
Aw,
I was able to get my car.
nice. What color was it?
I was big. Beep.
Big baller.
Yeah, I was big baller.
Big baller. You see what color it was?
It was blue.
Was it blue?
Yeah.
Nice. Next question. Favorite food? Do you have a favorite like type of food, like
Pizza.
pizza? Do you have a favorite place to get pizza?
Huh. I like pizza from all over the place. I've had Chicago-style pizza. I've had Indian pizza's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a place not far from here that we can get some.
Yeah,
from.
actually, hey, drivers, if you like pizza, try us, and you like, some spicy stuff, try some different Indian pizzas. There's a lot of them out here on the West Coast. It's pretty damn good.
That's right.
So, but I think Round Table's my go-to. I like Round Table.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
All right.
Out here, Fat Zach's right here by the yard's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Dill pickle pizza.
The place down in California by our old terminal, not our current terminal, down in Rippon.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be called Pizza Plus, but now it's
Gold
called
Dust.
Gold
Yeah,
Dust.
Gold Dust, hands down, in Rippon. Good
Biggest
pizza.
calzones you ever
Yeah.
seen. All right, moving along. You got a memory. I want to get to know Harman as a young little guy, right? What's a memory you could share with us? Growing up, son of a truck driver, brother to Harry. You have any like fun pranks or
Harry's
fun
my brother.
memories? What's that?
Yeah, Harry's my brother.
Do you have any siblings? One brother. I'll answer that for you.
Is Harry watching right now? Harry, what's up?
Oh, he's always watching. So any stories you could share? Any memories?
Yeah,
anything
so I
fun?
think I don't know. I think the best story or memory. So I definitely love trucks, right? Obviously. So I would every summer or even every opportunity when we lived up here in Washington as young kids, right? We lived up here, and so on the weekends or if it was a Saturday, sometimes my dad, he worked locally, and sometimes he'd be like, "Hey, I gotta run this weekend." And it was like mail loads or something. It was the mailers. Remember junk mail? I think there's still junk mail around.
Oh,
But it was the
Just check my
insert, so it was
mailbox.
like post office loads coming out of the railroad yards out here to all these different Tacoma and Portland and Salem and all that whatever, going to these different post offices, multiple stop loads, and Harry and I would love to go ride along with him. Owner operator had his own passenger passes and everything. Full disclaimer, So we'd love to go along with him, and he would. When we were down there, because Carl's Jr. Is there Carl's Jr. up here now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Carl's Jr. wasn't up here at the time, but they had some good spicy chicken sandwiches. And so on Saturdays, when my dad would have that load, we'd go to Oregon with him, and we every time he'd be like, "Hey, if you guys want to come down with me tomorrow, I'll get you a spicy chicken from Carl's Jr. in Oregon." I'm like, sweet. So I remember that. The other memory is on all of these trips or any trips I went on my dad with, I would always my brother would be like, "Hey, can I ride in the front seat?" I'm like, "Yeah, on the way back, I'll let you ride." And so on the way back, he'd be like, "Hey, can I ride?" And then I would just let him ride in the front seat for like the last 15, 20 minutes of the ride every time.
Big brother wins. Big brother has his privileges. Those are good stories.
Yeah.
Those are good. Thank you for sharing those. Let's see. What did Harman Cheema want to be before you decided to pursue global domination of the West Coast here at Cheema Freight Lines?
I wanted to be an astronaut.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a young kid, I want to be an astronaut. So I don't know if you guys know. So I'm Punjabi, right? So being a Punjabi from India, right? All your parents, every time, your natural expectation is you're going to be a doctor. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Dr. Cheema.
Yeah, that's it. You got to go to school. You got to be a doctor or a lawyer. More doctors. They want doctors because they think that's the American dream and that's how you become wealthy and whatever. You just go be a doctor. So my dad, every time we'd go anywhere, and I was okay, smart in school. I did okay, right? And every time we'd go somewhere, and he'd get me, I'd go with him, and he'd be like, yeah, my son, he's doing great in school, and he's gonna be a doctor when he grows up. And I would just bite my tongue because I was like, cool, whatever Dad says, I guess I'll be a doctor, even though I want to be an astronaut. But
Darshan, I hope you're not watching. He never wanted to be a doctor.
And then eventually I had to break it to him. I was like, Dad, I'm not gonna be a doctor. And he's like, okay, well, that sucks. I don't think he really cared when I told him.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
So now for Arzan, I'm just going to tell everybody he's going to be a doctor.
Pay it forward, baby. Hope you're watching Arzan. Dr. Arzan. Favorite hobby or pastime? Do you even have any free time to pursue hobbies? Recreational
Favorite
stuff?
hobby.
Like, you got some free time. You got a free half a day. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to spend it?
I like hanging out with family,
Definitely.
friends, cousins, the things we like to do in the summer. Go play a little bit of golf. We're not very good. We try to play golf.
Yeah.
Go play some golf. That's
Have
pretty
fun
fun.
trying.
Yep. Have some brews while we're playing golf.
Enjoy a nice sunny day.
If we can, get the boat out, go on the lake or something, whip it out there. And in the winter, if we can, hit the mountains, hit the slopes, go skiing. That's probably one of my favorite sports.
Yeah.
Go skiing out there. So every summer, start squatting so I can get ready for for winter
Your off-season
skiing.
training.
Yeah.
Love it.
Otherwise, that first few weeks is pretty brutal, man.
We're up in the Pacific Northwest, and I'd be remiss if I didn't finish with this question here. What is your favorite coffee beverage of choice?
Coffee beverage. So I'm pretty plain Jane on stuff like that. I would just drink normal black coffee. Recently, I stopped drinking coffee.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's all right. So I stopped drinking coffee, so I switched it to just a tea, a black tea. So now I go, so in the past, if I'm going to breakfast or something, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a black coffee. Like, here you go, black coffee, right? And I'm like, could I get an English breakfast tea, right? And then here they come. They got like this cup with water, and then they got like a lemon, and they got the freaking pouch of the English tea, and then they got like honey, and it's like this whole freaking extravagant event for my black tea. I'm like, this is kind of nice, Jamie.
You're fancy.
Yeah.
You're fancy. It's like a 3-course drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for giving us a little insight into the softer side of Harman Cheema. 101 with Harman Cheema. Well, let's get back to business. How's business been? We had an episode, 2-part episode last month, and you gave us a great State of the Union. You, Frizz, Harry, and we got a great snapshot of what's been going on in 2023 so far and how things have been trending going into the summer months. Things are picking up. What are some things that you're seeing in the industry that you might want to update us on?
Yeah, so going into July now, it's gotten busier for sure. We've gotten a lot of equipment in. Things are definitely busier. There was a little bit of a lull in a few months ago, but I feel like the last few weeks it's definitely gotten busier. Now it's not as busy as we like, but at the same time our teams are working hard to keep soliciting freight and keep our trucks moving. So all in all, I think we're pretty darn good. There are some pockets, there are some days where it's a little bit slower here, busier here, slower here. So we're still kind of playing that balancing act, but all in all, it's definitely busier. And we've added a good number of drivers and a good number of trucks since the beginning of the year. Yeah. And I can, happily say we're keeping them pretty darn busy. It could be busier, sure, right? We could get, I'm hoping to continue to go up that route and continue to, get more miles for our drivers, for sure, right? But it's not pandemic crazy busy. We're just take it, we got hundreds of loads sitting in the yard. Definitely not that. But we're feeling it getting busier, and we're very optimistic, and we brought on a couple new accounts, which has been good.
Adding new business.
Adding new business, always good, right? So we're looking at adding some more business as we continue to grow. We just took delivery of a ton of new trailers for all the drivers. I know trailers have been a challenge, but look, you see them. They're coming, so we got more coming. We got another 100 or so coming in the next few weeks, and we just took delivery of 66, something like that. So we got almost a couple hundred trailers coming within the next month total. So we're very excited about that. We got some new trucks coming too. And so, yeah, business overall is pretty good. We're working hard. Sales teams are working hard. Operations teams are working hard. Everybody's working hard at securing new business, growing our current partnerships. But we got to deliver on time, guys. That's the key. So the only way we're going to continue to have these opportunities if we continue to deliver on time and do a good job for our customers.
Absolutely. give them a reason to bring more of their business our way.
Yep.
Yeah, I was down in Lathrop last week. I saw 2 rows of brand new trailers, double parked.
Yep.
Just tons of new empty trailer equipment.
Why were they all parked and not on the?
Exactly. Probably getting in serviced.
Yeah.
I think they just delivered.
Are we gonna get special guest Frizz later on?
Oh, he's coming up. He's got some more to tell us about trailers.
Yeah,
So
we'll let him talk about.
we won't
trailers.
spill too many of his
Yeah.
beans. Tell me what you can. Terminal development. I know everybody's really excited about breaking ground down in Lathrop. We got a brand new terminal construction coming up here soon. There's been some delays, some setbacks, some recalibrating and recalculating. What's the latest and greatest as far as that's concerned?
So as far as our Lathrop terminal goes, we're just talking about Lathrop, or yeah.
I'll start with Lathrop. Sure.
Yeah. So Lathrop, we're gonna pull permits in the next few weeks. I just had a meeting today. I think we're getting pretty darn close. It's my first time on this building terminal stuff, guys. So
One step at a time.
yeah, but
Carefully measured.
we did acquire the property just south of us as well.
That's what I heard.
So that's an additional 5 acres we're going to be bolting on, probably phase 3 of our big project. So we'll have additional parking and more parking and all of that going on in Lathrop. So very, very excited about that. So yeah, hopefully soon we'll be able to get started, and we'll keep everybody posted on that for sure. And as far as Oregon goes, I think business as usual there, right?
Business as usual down there.
Still actively working on a Phoenix solution. Not a lot to share there yet.
Just a drop yard right now, but
Yep.
we're looking on something more permanent.
Yep. And up here in Washington, still the same, but we were able to move around some tenants and partner carriers that we had. So we had a big one that was overusing a lot of our space. Good company, good partnership. We actually used one of their drop yards in Southern California, so we're still friends and everything's still good, but they were able to find a different yard that worked for them, and it worked out good for us. So now we have a lot more space here in Pacific, because that was definitely a challenge, definitely frustrating for a lot of drivers. We heard you, just things have to kind of, we got to work together on some of these things, and took a little bit longer than I wanted to get that worked out. So,
But the net is now we've got a ton more space up here.
yes.
Yep, ton more parking space for trailers and equipment in the Pacific Washington terminal. So that's cool. That's
And
good.
we're going to be paving here soon.
Yes, we're excited about that.
Yep. So Pacific's going to get new asphalt soon.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for those updates. Next topic I wanted to transition to, Driver Appreciation Week. A little teaser, a little preview. It's coming up sooner than you think. Second week of September. Is there anything at this point in time we should share with our public about what they can look forward to?
Taco trucks, I think.
In-N-Out burger truck? We looked into that today.
I wish.
That came up that was on the table today.
Yeah.
Until we found out they don't come up to Central California.
Dang.
Which is weird, because there's one right down the street from
we
the
can just
Lathrop
make our own
terminal.
and not burger. Screw it.
What a great idea. So we're thinking so far, I'll start, I'll get the ball rolling a little bit. We got a traveling team. We're going to have a core group going from each terminal location to terminal location to bring the party to our people. There'll be some great swag. There'll be some prizes, some raffle prizes. Obviously, we're going to feed everybody. Haven't narrowed down exactly what that's going to look like from terminal to terminal yet. That's still being determined. But most importantly, what I look forward to every year, I'm at every event, is getting to spend time with our drivers. Our drivers are amazing, and then we're going to have our core traveling team at each terminal location for that purpose alone, amongst all the other pomp and circumstances. Fun, music, goodies, food, but mostly just to spend some quality time with our drivers. And that's what we always look
Absolutely.
forward to. So
Absolutely. And it's always Drivers Appreciation Week here at Cheema.
that's true. It's not just a week long. Not here
But
at Cheema.
we get the excuse to do it in September and get out of our daily routine, get out of our daily grind, get out of the desks, get all of those places, and then just hit the road, go shake hands, meet with drivers, and just get out there more. So we do special things throughout the year. We just barbecued a couple weeks ago, right?
We hit all 3 terminals, by
Yeah.
the way. One up in Pacific Washington, one in Albany, Oregon, and then down in Lathrop, California. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep. So we like to do that throughout the year, but we get to do a little bit bigger event during Driver Appreciation, have a lot of swag for everybody, and our vendors participate, and we get some sponsorships and, just good stuff.
Yep, good times. Well, I'm excited about this next little bit. I've got a new segment. We'll see if this is the only time we feature it or if this becomes a recurring theme, but this next segment's called Inside the Biz with Frizz.
Inside the Biz with Frizz. Awesome.
You gotta say it slower and more meaningful.
Okay. Inside the Biz with Frizz. How's that?
Pretty good. All right, welcome to Inside the Biz with my friend Frizz. Jeff Frizzle, how you doing today?
Doing good, Jamie. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. A sunny day in Western Washington. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Well, I'm excited to have you on the program. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Let's just jump right in, shall we?
You bet. You bet. Well, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out to AZ Pro. They did a lot of our office decorations here. Right behind us, our core values, which is nice to see. And as you scan through our office, we've got a lot of things out on the walls in our operations room and over in our driver's lounge. We plan on doing that down at Lathrop when we get built as well. And then we've already got plans for Albany to put our core values up on one of those walls too. So it's going to be pretty cool. But thank you, AZ Pro, for all you did for us, and we'll continue to grow.
Yeah, big time shout out. They do quality work.
They do.
They do quality work. We got a trailer update. Harman spoke to it a little bit. Seeing lots of new trailer equipment out at our terminals delivering. What more do you want to add to that conversation?
You know, we're just excited to get some new wagons out in the customer pools and here at the terminals to get people moving. But just a quick update: we've added about 80 of the new utility trailers, and as you pull through Pacific, you're going to see quite a few of those sitting here getting prepped and ready to go. One thing to mention though is we do have new. It's the same type of vendor we're using for our trailer tracking, but you can see it from the outside of the trailer.
Oh, okay.
So you can see this picture here, and that will show you exactly what the difference is. But if you see that on the front, it's okay. That's what we wanted. That's what we installed. But that is different from what we're doing on our other trailers.
Good call out.
But we do have about 37 of those in action already, of those 80. So that's nice to see. So far, the feedback has been great. Those are air ride trailers too, which is different. So I'm sure the drivers will like that. And our shops are excited to see them. So we're continuing to put new Hyundais in the mix as well. So those have been great to have. And I guess, you know, looking through from last year, I think we put about 280 of those into the mix. And this year already we have another 25 coming in this batch and then more to follow. So as Harman probably mentioned, around 200 more trailers for this year.
Dang.
So that's great.
It's a lot of wagons.
Yep.
I can tell you, I'm sitting over my office over here, and every day someone's coming in with paperwork. Where do I turn in the paperwork for this new trailer I just delivered?
Yep.
So it's happening.
Yeah.
Both terminal locations too. So it's fantastic.
Well, on a side note to that, if you do see a trailer being pulled by an off-branded carrier, not a Cheema truck, it's probably someone hauling their freight in our trailer to get it to where we want it. So that's okay. But they're just delivering those. But another thing to call out is that we do have some rentals still in the mix. We have our McKinneys, which will be turning in at some point soon. And then we also have some extra lease trailers that we put in the mix. So there's about 37 of those in right now. And we'll be turning those back in at some point soon. But we had to get those to kind of fill the gap until these new ones showed up. So
Makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. We just rolled out a brand new seal policy. We kind of just added some language to it, clarifying some of our principles and how we want to conduct business, protect our customers' freight. I know you want to highlight some of those points. What do you want to tell us about our new seal policy?
Well, you know, in the last episode, we talked about this, and we can't reinforce this enough that if you pick up a load from a customer, make sure that the seal is verified, it's on the bill of lading. Preferably, the customer is sealing that at the gate. If they ask you to put that seal on, you might ask them back, say, I'd prefer you'd put it on, but if they make you do that, take the time to make sure, especially if it's a bolt seal, that it's connected. We've actually had a couple where they've gone down the road and they've fallen off.
Yikes.
Because they weren't even connected correctly. It simply snaps on, but it just wasn't installed right. If you're stopping at a truck stop or stopping by your house, make sure that that seal is still intact when you park, when you get back into the truck, walk around the trailer, make sure it's there. But, you know, we've had some issues where drivers have not checked, or they've left, or they've gotten to a customer and the seal's broken. And at that point, especially with some of these beverage customers, we will end up buying the load. And we've got multiple ones right now we're trying to fight, but we stand zero chance if we pull into a receiver and we have the seal broke. And it's hard to say that we've kept that thing intact. So we got to take care of that. But, you know, our seal policy, and I printed off most of the bullet points here, but, you know, never break the seal without the permission from your driver manager here in the office. If you get into a scale, of course, you know, the DOT officers have the authority to do that.
Absolutely.
And they'll reseal it, they'll notate that. That's not a problem, and it hasn't been a problem. But before leaving the shipper, ensure that seal number matches what's on the bill of lading, because there's sometimes the customers print paperwork for the wrong trailer, the wrong load. You know, look at that to verify it's the destination you're going to go to, the trailer number you're picking up, and verify that seal. If it's not right, stop and go back inside, get it straightened out. Don't just leave and then all of a sudden something's wrong going down the road.
Well, there could be scenarios too where maybe the order was changed at some point in time. They originally sealed it up and they say, hey, we want one more or one less pallet. So they break that original seal and then they never reprinted the paperwork. They put a new seal on it, but the paperwork was never updated. You always want to check that paperwork has the actual seal number that is physically on the back of that trailer.
Correct.
And if it's wrong, just politely and professionally ask the shipper to reprint that paperwork for you with the right seal number.
Exactly. So, if you drop a load on a relay point, so if you bring a load to the yard and maybe you're taking home time, your truck's going in the shop and someone else is going to take it on, verify that seal is intact, make sure everything looks good. If anything has happened, make sure you contact operations right away. But we don't want any issues for the next driver to come in and figure out, oh, that was broke on the previous driver. So take a minute to look at that. And then when you're picking the load up, if you picked it up from a yard that someone else has dropped, check the seal. Make sure, again, the paperwork matches, seal is intact, no issues. We're going to get to the point when we get to a new mobile comm provider where we're going to take a picture of the load before we leave, if it's ever dropped, when it gets to the receiver, so we know exactly all those points that everything's good to go.
Yep.
So,
photo confirmation
correct.
at every checkpoint.
Yep. So we'll get to that point, but soon we'll be able to have something that'll give us a tool to be able to do that.
Exactly. When we have the right mobile comm to get us there.
Yep.
Right.
So, but during transit, just if you stop for fuel, stop for a rest break, whatever it is, check the seal, make sure everything's good. Too many times there's been various truck stops across the country, mostly here on the West Coast, but we've sent out a list of places that you should not park because it's just very high theft issues. So Barstow, California has been multiple trailers have been broke into. That's been a big problem. But our fleet wide, and we've got a list right here that we can show you that will give you all the locations we've had trouble with. So just make sure please don't stop there for the night because it is unsafe. And we've got a lot of theft activity as well. So take a look at that. But if you discover a seal is broken, follow the seal policy as far as get in touch with the driver manager, get a police report, any pictures that you can of the trailer and the freight. But we'll walk you through all those steps and operations, and then we'll refer back to the policy that went with us. So it's a very important thing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure our customers get the freight that they ordered and it hasn't been tampered with.
Correct.
We want to make sure that, if we successfully deliver the load with that seal intact, which is the name of the game, we have somebody there at the receiver to sign for it, seal intact, verifying that seal was unbroken in transit. And that's what we want.
That's what we want.
At the end of the day, that's what we want. Keep our customers happy, and they are. We just want to make sure we stay vigilant on that front. Good. Well, thank you for that great reminder. Let's move on to service. Let's talk a little bit about service and the importance of service.
Well, it seems like every Cheema Connect that we do, we talk about service. And
Is that important?
It absolutely is. I mean, that is the key for us to retain and grow the business.
Yeah.
So if we show up with 85% service, we're going to lose it. Even if we show up at 92% service, we're going to lose it. So a lot of customers expect 95 or above. Some are at 98, 99. But we have to make sure that we do all we can to protect service. If it's weather related, this time of year isn't as big a deal. But during the winter, as long as we're communicating that out, typically that's okay. But oversleeping, taking the wrong route, not planning enough ahead on your trip plans, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So
what does that mean for the professional drivers we have working for Cheema Freight Lines, watching the program? What do they need to know about service? I mean, the things that I keep hearing, you mentioned a couple of things that are going to interfere with the ability to deliver freight on time, but what do we need from our drivers to make sure that we can keep communication flowing through to our customers?
Well, first of all, when you get the load and you don't think you have enough hours to take it, then say that right away. We don't want you to get under the load, get a few hours down the road, and then all of a sudden you're out of hours and we're scrambling to find someone else. Communication up front is the key. So, always do your pre-trips. Make sure you're taking the time to check the equipment first, because if you break down out on the road, that delays you. So if you're dropping a trailer and you got a flat tire, you just hear that time and time again. Drivers get frustrated where the first driver could have handled it, but all of a sudden they're picking up a trailer that's now got a flat tire, and they got to get it fixed. So maintenance and pre-trips are very important. But also just, checking that route, making sure due to your hours of service and traffic delays, you're coming through some of these big cities, communication back to your driver manager is very important.
And one big topic we're talking about lately is trip planning.
Correct.
Knowing how long it takes to get from A to Z, your pickup to your destination, how many hours it takes, how many hours you, the professional driver, have left in your 70, your ELD, how many available hours you have, and how long it's going to take you to get there.
Right.
So you can communicate a good, meaningful ETA to your destination to your driver manager. And what's great about Cheema Freight Lines is, if we're going to get there a day or two early, they can move appointments around, or they could say, hey, the customer really can't move this appointment, therefore we might want to look at a relay possibility. They're going to work really hard to keep our drivers moving, but that ETA, estimated time of arrival communication, is so vital to helping our drivers run efficiently and maximizing their mileage production.
Yes.
So.
Yep. And I think even in class, you have a very nice trip planning module for training, right? And orientation.
Yep.
So
Pretty robust.
If you have any questions, we can certainly run you back through that.
Absolutely. And we're making a training video to support that, so it'll be available online as well very soon. Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you, Cheema Freight Lines. Network growth is the next topic. You want to lead us into that, Jeff?
Yeah, we've had a lot of growth into the mountain states. So Montana, Idaho, Utah, and even now into Nevada, into the Vegas market. So I was just looking at stats for the month. Right now we ran about 30 loads outbound of Montana. That's going to Arizona, California, Washington, Montana, or back into Montana, Washington. Idaho, we've done about 40 loads outbound. That's all going to California, Nevada, and Washington. Utah is primarily out of the Salt Lake area, Ogden area. About 50 loads we've done already for this month, and that's going to California and Washington. And then out of Vegas, you're pretty much going to head right back into NorCal, into back towards Lathrop, Manteca. But 60 loads already right now out of Nevada. So, there's a lot of growth and a lot of opportunities for folks to be running outside of our normal network and really growing into the Western 11.
Wow, that's fantastic. I know I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit. We're talking about flexing our geographic map. And I know some of our drivers are curious, how soon might we venture into places like Colorado or Texas? Is that something that we're in discussion with, or is that maybe this time next year we'll be kind of dipping our toe in the water? Where do you think you're at with that?
I wouldn't put any set timeline on it, but, there's opportunities. I was in Denver a few weeks ago meeting with some customers out there, so we're not shipping or picking up from there right now, but there's opportunities. So we'll get stabilized in these states we just talked about, and then look at some other ones. We've talked about Texas, probably the Dallas-Fort Worth area first.
Cool.
And then Colorado will be the Denver market as well. So there's no set timeline, but when the opportunity presents itself, we won't back down.
When the opportunity is right.
Right.
Cool, like that. Let's talk about terminal development, specifically the paving project we see going on here right now, actually here in Pacific Washington. Tell me what's going on there.
Yeah, so our neighbors next door, Freightliner, has already started phase 1. So as you pull into our yard, you'll already notice their used truck lot is being paved.
Yep.
So
I can smell it from my office.
Exactly. So that'll be done here soon, and they'll get that striped and everything moved. Phase 2 is just to the west of our lot. It's a little section that's still got gravel done.
Okay.
So it's taken about a month to a month and a half to get done each phase. And then when those two are done, then they'll come into our yard and get that all done. So we're looking probably August, September range.
Cool.
And then our yard will be completely paved and striped.
So before winter, that entire yard where all of our equipment is currently parking, most of it's already paved, right? The concourse or the driving area is already paved.
Correct.
But it's kind of the perimeter and the core of the apple, if you were. Right. That'll all be paved as well and striped.
Yes.
Wow, fantastic.
Yep.
Any other updates to add to that?
Not right now. We're just excited for our new teammates to join the program and get out in the fleet. So if you have any questions for our operations group, I'm here for you. So just welcome to the company.
All right. Fantastic job, Frizz. Inside the biz with Frizz. Fantastic job from Frizz, as always. In the biz with Frizz. I think that's our new favorite section.
Yeah, in the biz with Frizz.
Yeah. We need to get a theme song to introduce that. Let's talk about hiring, because hiring has been absolutely bananas lately. Did you know that? You've been following the numbers? I've been looking over the numbers lately, and our driver services team, recruiters, all of our driver services extraordinaires have really muscled up. They've rolled up their sleeves, and hiring has been absolutely crazy. In the past 5 weeks, we've hired 42 drivers.
Wow.
5 weeks, 42 drivers.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. And what's
great job, driver
better
services
still
team. Yep.
is alongside of driver services, we have an operations team that continues to deliver at a high level over and over again. One of the things that we don't talk enough about, but that our operations team continues to excel at, is keeping turnover incredibly low. Drivers that find a home at Cheema Freight Lines like to stay.
Yep.
Our turn numbers are incredibly low. And that's something I want to just make sure to shine a spotlight on, celebrate, say thanks and hats off to all of our driver managers, everybody involved in driver interactions, from payroll to human resources, and everybody in between. Our shop teams get a lot of accolades. I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure everybody has a fantastic home here at Cheema Freight Lines.
Yep, that's our mission, is to make it a great place to work for our driving and our non-driving staff. So great job and kudos and hats off to everybody, driver services and everybody in recruiting and all of the ops and back office and safety teams and shop teams. We can't forget them. We got to take care of our pit crew, right?
Heck
They
yeah.
keep us rolling. So
One more stat before we move on from this hiring bonanza. 29% we have grown through 25 weeks of 2023.
So what?
29% we've grown by. Now, if you have been following the Cheema Connect program or watched some of our content, you might remember our year in review video for 2022. One of the numbers I shared was in the year 2022, we grew our driver count by 25%. That's good. We celebrated. We were happy with that. But through 25 weeks of 2023, we've already grown 29% in our driver count. What does that mean? From this point forward, everything is just going to continue to forge that number up and up, and that's a huge accomplishment. So that's just something I want to celebrate. Congratulations, everybody involved in that process.
Yeah, and we still have several batches of new trucks coming in. Now we are getting rid of all of our 2020s and some of our 2021 model trucks. So if you have 2020s, odds are you probably already got a call to take it into a terminal, and we got your new truck ready to go. Or it's getting pretty close. So it's coming, and then we're going to start working on some of the 2021s. So we still have some new batches of trucks coming in before we finish off the year. And then we also have some new batches of trucks coming in that are just going to be pure ads. So we're not done growing just yet for the year. We're going to grow a little bit more.
Fantastic. So if you're interested in joining Team Cheema, I've got some numbers for you. 844-424-3362. We'll get one of our recruiting specialists on the phone to talk to you about fleet options, see if you got a fleet match where you want to run. We get you home, we get you miles, get you back to your family, and enjoy your time away.
Yep.
That's Cheema Freight Lines. If you're ready to start your application, go to teamcheema.com.
That's T-E-M.
Nope. T-E-A-M, bro.
Ah, dang it.
You better put the banner on there to make sure they spell it right.
All right.
Teamcheema.com.
Yeah, so it's 844-4Cheema and teamcheema.com.
There you go. Perfect.
There we go.
Well, that about does it for this installment of Cheema Connect. I want to say thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there. 4th of July is coming up. Make sure you celebrate responsibly, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Harman.
Thank you. Be safe.